Hello and welcome back to another video, and today I'm doing an unhaul because I've decided I need space on the shelves, and there's some series here which I've been meaning to unhaul for a while, and other ones I decided to let go of because I need space and from other stuff, and yeah. So that's what I'm going to do with all of these. I am planning on selling them all. I will advertise them on my Instagram, so if you live in the UK and you're interested in any of these, then I'll leave a link to my Instagram in the description and you can send me a DM on there. I will probably be charging about £2 a volume, so the sets of full series and stuff will have prices based on that. So yeah, I'll be putting all the series and the prices and everything up on my Instagram. So if anyone's interested in any one of these series, you can just send me a DM on there and we'll get sorted out. Anyway, the first series I'm going to be unhauling today is Tokyo Ghoul 1 to 14. This is the complete set. I'm gonna unhaul Tokyo Ghoul because I need space for more larger trim volumes, and because I dropped Re. This is only half of the series because it continues in Tokyo Ghoul Re, and I dropped that after 3 or 4 volumes. So I'm like, am I never actually going to finish the series? I really think I should probably get rid of the first half. I do know how it ends. I did look up how it ends and everything, but I have absolutely no intention of reading Re past what I did read because I wasn't enjoying it. So I think it's time to get rid of the first half and send it to a home who would probably enjoy it more than I did. Although, not to say I didn't enjoy the series, I gave it a 7 out of 10, and I did enjoy the anime too. It's just I need the space. This one, it's just what I chose because of obviously not liking the second half and all that, so it's going to a new home. Next up, I am unhauling. I decided to do this. I needed the space, and I was originally planning to get the omnibuses, but I don't think that's going to be possible, so I'm just going to rehome it. And that is Hanaui Kimi 1 to 23. This is the complete series. I didn't hate the series, I quite liked it, but I never read past volume 8. And I've had this series on my shelf for several years, and after several years of owning this, I've never gotten past volume 8. I really don't think I'm going to find the time to read the rest of it, nor do I have that much motivation to read the rest of it when I have so many other series that I'm getting and bringing in every month that I'd rather be reading over Hanaui Kimi. So it's not a bad series, but it's not my favourite series, but I didn't hate it. I said I probably would have given it, again, maybe a 6, 7 out of 10, but yeah, I have the complete set here. The condition's a bit yellowed, but I bought it secondhand, but it's a bit yellowed, but other than that, the condition is perfectly fine. So yeah, I will be rehoming Hanaui Kimi. As I said, I was originally trying to replace these with the omnibuses because they do take up less space, but they're quite hard to find and I need the space. So if I do one day find the omnibuses, I may recorrect this series, but for now I'm just going to sell it to somebody who would read and enjoy it when I'm probably not going to. Oh, don't fall over. Next, I have some, another series here. Let's do this one next. Next, I'm unhauling Elfen Lied, the complete set. It's 4 3-in-1 omnibuses. They're quite bricks. I did enjoy the anime for Elfen Lied, and for the most part, I enjoyed the manga too, but I was put off by all the fan service, and the fan service in the manga was more excessive than it was in the anime, although the anime did have fan service. The manga takes it to another level, and yeah, I like the story and I like the horror, but I just don't really want to have series with excessive fan service in my collection because that's just not my thing. And there was one character in here who was had an issue with her bladder where she would wet herself often, and they fetishized that quite a bit, and yeah, I just don't think I want this in my collection anymore. I don't really like fan servicey series, and Although I did enjoy this back in the day, and I will still keep the anime in my DVD collection, but I think it's time I let go of the manga. There's so many other series that don't have fan service that I would rather have taking up the space that this is taking up on the shelf. So yeah, that'll be going. Next, I just have some miscellaneous stuff that I tried a few volumes of, and it's like a one-shot. Anyway, first is... This is actually a complete set. This is My Secret Affection. It's volumes 1 and 2. This was cute. It was quite weird at times. Like, the ending I wasn't keen on. There was parts in volume 2 which were like a bit weird, and I was like, the explanation about how the couples go about having children was kind of weird. And yeah, it's completed 2 volumes. It was a cute series. I gave it like a 6 or a 7 out of 10. But it's not my favourite. I know it's only 2 volumes, so it's not going to free up that much space, but it is going to free up a little bit of space for another maybe 2 volume series that I might enjoy more. So yeah, not a bad series. I didn't hate it, but I don't really want it in my collection anymore. Next up is Midnight Rain. This is just a one-shot BL. I picked this up randomly when I went to London last year, and it was okay. It wasn't like anything special. It wasn't great. It was just okay. So yeah, I get that'll be going as well. Then I'm unhauling the first volume of the manga for Sugar Apple Fairy Tail. Love Sugar Apple Fairy Tail. I love the anime, and I really like the light novels as well. But I think with this, I wanted to stick with the light novels. This manga has ended, I think, at only like 6 volumes in total in Japan, so it's not going to cover the entire thing. I don't really like the art style that they chose for the manga adaptation. I don't like the way they did Shell's design in the manga, and the pacing was a bit off as well. And I would just rather stick with reading the light novels, which I know I enjoy, rather than buy more of the manga, which I'm not as keen on. Next, I will be getting rid of a couple of light novels. I'm getting rid of the Gravitation light novels and the Gravitation Voice of Temptation. I unhauled Gravitation a long time ago because I didn't really like the second half, but I kept the light novels because I hadn't yet read them. But looking at my light novel shelves and looking at everything on there that I haven't read, I'm probably just never going to get around to reading these. As much light novels I'd much rather be reading than the Gravitation light novels, especially since I kind of like the first half of the manga. I loved the anime. The anime was great. But the second half of the manga, it got a bit silly and I wasn't as keen on it. So I just don't think I'll ever read these. So they'll be going to... I'll also be unhauling the Your Name light novel because it's exactly the same as the film. And I would rather just rewatch the film. So yeah, it's exactly the same. Like, it didn't add anything that wasn't there in the film. And if I was to want to re-experience Your Name, it would definitely be through watching the film again rather than this. So yeah, I needed the space for more light novels, and I don't really need to keep this one. I'd rather just watch the film. Next, I have the Dragon King's Imperial Wrath. Falling in love with the bookish princess of the Rat Clan. This was okay. It wasn't anything special. It was just okay, and reading so many things that I just don't really have the motivation to pick up any more of this when I wasn't enjoying it as much as like everything else I was reading. So I know it's only a 3-volume series, but I just don't really want to read more. It was just okay. So yeah. And then I'll be unhauling #DRCL. Again, I wasn't keen on this. I'm not a fan of historical literature, like classic literature, and this is based off of Dracula, which is like classic literature. So the artwork was very nice, which is what drew me into this series, and I like vampires, but it wasn't really for me. It will be for someone else though, so I'll find it a nice new home. Next, I will be unhauling A Condition Called Love, volumes 1 and 2. I did not like Hanaui. the main male lead. I tried a second volume because people were saying he improves as the series went on, but I still didn't like him in the second volume. And I don't see much point in me continuing to read a romance manga where I don't like the main couple, because I really don't like this male lead. Like, so yeah, I'm not into like the yandere trope, and Hanaui, he's not a yandere, but he gives off like similar vibes at times, and he's quite clingy, and it's just not for me. I know it's a popular series, and I know somebody else will probably really enjoy it, but yeah, this one already has a home, so I'll not be advertising this one because I already have someone who wants it, so, and I know they've already read this and they enjoy it, so it'll be going to them. Next, I have everything else in this haul is still available. It's just apart from that one. UNhaul, I mean. Next, I'm unhauling Rainbow Days. I read the first 3. Again, I thought it was okay, but I wasn't really attached to any of the couples or any of the characters. I quite liked him and the girl he was interested in, but the other 3 couples, But the other 3 couples, they were just, I wasn't very bothered. It's like a high school slice of life about the daily lives of 4 boys, and it was okay, but again, I'd rather be reading other series and having other series that I enjoy more taking up space on my shelves, so this one's going. And so is Rosen. Now, Rosen is just complete trash. It's vampire trash. It was interesting to read through it at first just because of how bad it actually is, but I was originally going to buy Volume 5 and finish the series before getting rid of it, but I was like, I don't really want to waste my money on buying Volume 5 when I know I'm just going to be unhauling it afterwards, so I just read it online, and I didn't like the ending, and yeah, Rosenbird, it's somebody will like it, somebody will want this, and yeah, I always knew that this was gonna leave the collection at some point. Next up is another vampire trash series, and that is Vampire Dormitory. I collected the first 10 volumes. This series is trashy. I enjoyed it at first, it was fun, but as it got further in, it just got a bit more ridiculous, and then Volume 10 would have been a good place to end this series, but it's not ended. It's continuing past Volume 10. I don't think Volume 11's out in Japan yet, but I have no intention of continuing past Volume 10, because I think, personally, that if it didn't have those last, like, 3 pages, that would have been a good place to end it and just leave it there, and yeah, I don't want to collect this series anymore, and I think I should just unhaul it, so that's what's happening. It was a good time at first, it was a bit of fun, but it got more and more weird the further it went along, and then it just, I think, should have ended at 10, and it's not going to. Anyway, that's everything I'm unhauling from my collection. I do have 3 other series here, which I already unhauled a while ago, but I still kept them in storage because I knew these series are, like, harder to find, so I kept them. But now I'm going to part with them, and they'll be a part of what I'm selling on Instagram as well. And don't worry, I know these series are out of print, I know that they're hard to find, but I am not gonna, like, overcharge for them or anything again. I'm still probably just going to charge £2 a volume, so, like, I have Lament of the Lamb here, 1 to 7, this is a complete series. I've dropped this series after reading Volume 2, and yeah, so I had it stored away somewhere, and now I think it's time to part with it fully. So yeah, I'll probably this is a 7 volume series, so I'll probably just charge like £14 for the whole thing. I know, because I know there's going to be people who want this, who are going to enjoy it, and I'd rather just let them have it for a reasonable price. And then the next one that will be sold, that I unhauled a while ago is Boy Princess 1 to 9. This is a complete, I think it's Korean. It's a BL series by Net Comics. I really like the covers, which is what drew me to the series, but I didn't like it. I've read the whole thing, but I wasn't keen on it. It's like a fantasy BL. So yeah, this is one I will probably be charging about £18 for, because it's 9 volumes, and that £2 a volume would make it like £18. So yeah, that one will be going as well. If anybody's interested in that, again, DM me on Instagram. And the last series is Land of the Blindfolded. This is a CMX series. It's the only CMX series I owned. This one was alright. I think I gave it a 6. It was okay. I didn't think it was fantastic, which is why, I unhauled it a while ago, but I know this series is hard to find, so I decided to like keep it off to the side somewhere, but now I think it's time to let it go and send it to a new home. You might actually really enjoy it more than me. Again, this is 9 volumes, so we'll probably be charging about £18 for this one. But I will have to warn you that these Land of the Blindfolded are probably in the worst condition out of everything in this unhaul. They're not terrible condition, it's just they're very yellow, and a couple of the volumes later on have some like sticker residue on the spines, and the first 3 volumes are also very stiff to open, but apparently that is a CMX thing, and quite a few early CMX titles were very stiff like this, but it is only the first 3 volumes again. The rest of it's fine. Volume 4 onwards, it's fine. But yeah, I'm just letting you know that the condition on this one is rather very yellow, and some of the volumes are stiff, and there's some sticker residue, but they were like that when I bought them, because these were second hand when I bought them. So yeah, just to inform you of the condition of these ones, that it's not as, the condition isn't as good as, like, say, something like Boy Princess, which is in very good condition. So yeah, that is everything I'm going to be unhauling and selling. Again, if you're interested in any of these other than A Condition Called Love, because that already has a home, DM me on Instagram. The prices and everything will be on there. I will put them on after this video goes up. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you unhauled anything recently, and I'll see you for another video at some point. And Rowan is also here. Don't worry, Rowan. You'll never get unhauled. Bye bye.